everybody. Welcome back. Today we are talking about the due on sale clause. And this one sounds intimidating, but it's really important to understand. The due on sale clause is something that comes up when people talk about creative financing. Can you guys break down what a due on sale clause is, when it's triggered, and how investors think about risk around it?
Yeah, I can comment first. So the due on sale is basically when the bank realizes title's transferred over to a new owner. Someone else owns the property, but the loan is still in the original seller's name. Most people, especially agents, brokers, like all of the sort, they're really afraid of it. It's the boogeyman. But I've never heard of one that could not be fixed. And then even in the event that it is triggered, which is like less than 1% of the time, the easiest and fastest way to fix it is giving title back to seller, and then it's restructured as a lease option. And then the purchase price is equivalent to the mortgage balance. So it's a dynamic purchase price over time. So like on this property, that's how I already have it all signed saying if the due on sale is triggered, that's exactly what we're gonna do.
So does the
Nice.
seller have a hard time signing that, or does that benefit them? Or how does that work out?
No, I mean it's more just like an SOP with the bank, like their underwriting policy. Because a lot of the people that are overseeing it are like hourly wage workers, and they're just looking for a box to check. They're like, okay, title's back, great.
Yeah. So Dustin, when you bought that property, did you have to, physically negotiate with the seller and let them know and explain the whole process before you plugged it into the document, or was it just say in the paperwork, you submitted it, they signed it?
No, what I'd learned over time in the wholesaling too is they actually really liked it, the proactive side, because it is a fear, especially if they're working with the
Yeah.
agent or some other whoever. And they're like, well, what happens if? And I'm like, this is exactly what we're gonna do. And they're like, oh, okay, perfect.
Nice.
Okay, so
Cool.
then here's the question. What is the easiest way to purchase or structure the purchase so that that doesn't happen? Like, how does the bank find out that it's the title's changed, and is there a way to minimize that?
Well, especially with AI, how aggressively it's growing. A bank could have a little bot that's scraping records, and if they see it doesn't match anymore, like I know I'm trying to get you to get a trust, right? But let's say you actually had one and you owned a property that you bought sub two, and it's blasted, smashed trust, but then the seller's name is like Smith, and they start seeing things don't match because usually it matches really close. The AI notifies the bank. But the easiest way to avoid it is buying. Oh, there's two. It depends who you ask. You can buy in a trust, um, but then if the due on sale is triggered, it looks more obvious that you were trying to be, a little quiet with what you're doing.
Hmm.
Or you can buy with a lease option. The only con is though, as the buyer, you're less protected because let's say the seller goes into bankruptcy or they're sued or aliens pick them up. Title's
Uh-huh.
still in their name, and it's harder for you to go get the title than when you already have it. Like the whole, innocent until proven guilty concept. It's like whoever already owns that title or holds it, it's a lot easier for them to maintain it.
Okay, so something that we do, does this help? I'm not exactly sure. I mean, it sounds a little more complicated than I thought. We buy properties and we put it in an LLC and it's named after the street. And I thought the idea behind that was anyone who owns a home can just put it in an LLC under that street and it doesn't scream home has been sold. It just sounds
It
like
helps.
the
Yeah.
person put it in an LLC.
Yeah, especially if you do like a Wyoming LLC foreign file.
Hmm.
Like Florida, anyone could go look up on Sunbiz who owns that
Mhm.
LLC. But yeah, if you did like a Wyoming LLC and named it on wholesale deals, we would do that.
Does that help?
Yeah. I mean, it's less alarming than this like random entity name or a random trust that doesn't match the seller in any way.
Okay, and so, I mean, I think it can get kind of confusing or kind of streamlined depending on how you look at it. And the more we talk about it, the more I get a little bit nervous. But then I go back to what you said at the very beginning, that maybe less than 1% of people actually have this triggered.
No,
So is this something that people really need to worry about, or it just
the truly best way to avoid it is hire a TC when you're buying a sub two deal.
a
Because
transaction coordinator?
yeah, because
Okay.
what typically, like the number one reason it's triggered is when you're getting new insurance, it's done poorly. And it's gonna trigger the lender, like the escrow, like all of that. They're getting notified of this new insurance policy. Usually people they want to save $1,500 on a TC and then they get new insurance and just get it in their name. And then that's what triggers it, where you actually need to put the seller as secondary insured with you on the policy.
Okay. So you're saying a transaction coordinator would know how to do that? Or do you have to
Yep.
teach your
No,
transaction coordinator?
yeah, just hire a good, moderately priced transaction coordinator, not the cheapest, someone that has done at least a couple dozen transactions, and yeah, they'll know.
Okay. And then my last question is, because I'm going deep on this and I'm thinking about myself, like it's a little bit above my pay grade. I want to go do this. I don't even really know where do you get a transaction coordinator? Isn't that the title company, or is this someone different?
Our Facebook group,
Okay.
Co-Living Semesters Facebook group.
All right. I wasn't trying to put the plug in there, but I think that actually helps. Okay. I
Yeah.
wasn't digging, but like I was digging for myself. Okay, thank you.